That's what really gets you, because the white snow is gonna compact you into one freaking area that you've been in. They try to keep you stationary your whole life. You see what I'm saying?
Or
That's
just
what the
raw,
white.
like that's not what I prefer at all. Like that turns me off. I don't like that idea. But making a drink is easier for me. So it's like I
Sure,
consume
because
about.
he'll still keep you entertained. He'll bring you in, but he don't got to do all that yelling extraness. And I'm not coming at
Yes.
nobody else's style. It's just not my preferred style. So
It's
that's
okay when it's like fully heated, but until then, it is trash. It is trash. And I don't know if it's because it's an older car. I've never
yeah.
had like a brand new car or whatever.
You are now watching the Westmoreland Bros Podcast.
Welcome back to the Westmoreland Bros podcast. I don't know what episode this is genuinely. Maybe 64. I don't know.
Okay, that's cool. We did that two episodes ago. We on 66.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying?
really? Dang.
We making
Oh,
stuff
goodness.
happen. We the chariot, we pushing it. You feel what I'm saying?
We
Just,
moving up quick.
everybody tuning in. I know you like, oh my gosh, where'd you get this exclusive custom hat? You see what I'm saying? With 20 different views. You see what I'm saying? Man, this is exclusively made by my aunt. You see what I'm saying? If you want one, comment down below. We gonna charge you. We need to run it up, bro. You know what I'm saying? We retiring my aunt again this year. You know, again, hence again. So shout out Aunt Val, man. You came in clutch with this. Very warm. But this is episode 66, like you said. This is also the beginning of January. So as everybody knows out there, the last few months, I think since October, we've been doing awarenesses. So we got 2 awarenesses for this month.
There we
The
go.
first one, we have cervical cancer awareness. Now, men, this doesn't affect us at all. This only affects women. But it says they do this so they can educate people on preventing, detecting, and treating cervical cancer. And then it also helps people understand the causes of it, learn the ways to prevent it again, recognizing symptoms, and then they also tell you about certain screen guidelines that they give you, so you can have the best chance to catch cervical cancer if you have it. So ladies out there, please get that checkup done. Obviously, you know more about this in depth than me and Z do, so you guys are probably already on it. I feel like with certain things in life, women just do a little better than men. You see what I'm saying? And doctor appointments is one that I got to give y'all credit for. So keep
100%.
getting checked out, ladies. We appreciate y'all, and we gonna go to our second one now. The second one for the first week of January we got is National Mentoring Month. It says this is an observance designed to promote the value of mentoring and encouraging people to become mentors, especially for youth. So I like this one specifically. Everybody, whether you a man or a woman, you go through life, you know what I'm saying? You need somebody to help you. Whether that's a mom, a dad, a grandma, or as a close friend, somebody older than you in whatever capacity, however you met them. It could even be for a lot of people are teachers, because some people don't have anyone at home. When they hit that classroom, or they hit that school district, they know who they could talk to. So find a mentor out there. They got mentor programs as well. And like it said at the end, it's just about it's helping the youth. You know what I mean? And you're never too old for a mentor, though. You're never too old to get advice or look up to somebody. So don't put an age limit on it. However, the youth, obviously, that brain is building. So we try to catch them young to encourage them to do right. You see what I'm saying? So keep those 2 in mind for this first week. Once again, cervical cancer. Shout out all the ladies out there. And the National Mentoring Month. Shout out everybody out there who is a mentor. And if you're thinking about being a mentor, don't think no more, just do it. Everybody needs encouragement, so go for it and see what happens. It's January, you see what I'm saying? Who gonna stop you? Nobody. So those are the 2 we got for this month so far, man. Do you have any extra comments about either of them?
I can't really speak on the first one. The second one, I think that's very important to have guidance in life. We all need somebody to lean on, like the song says, and people have already been there before. And I feel like that's something that's kept me out of a lot of trouble, kind of seeing people do certain things and seeing the outcome of those things and realizing that I did not want to be part of those outcomes. And you can't avoid everything. There are some things where you do know the outcome, and for some reason it's tempting to you, or you just feel like doing it, and it happens. But there's definitely a lot of things you can avoid in life by watching others and what they've done, let alone getting actual guidance, someone telling you what can happen. So I think mentoring is a huge thing. So I appreciate
No,
that.
I agree. I agree. And just to add one thing to that, I like mentoring is what we're focusing on. However, even if you take the mentoring out of it, just understand this. Like whoever you are, somebody somewhere actually does look up to you. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're just me and Z, we are not known among people. You know what I'm saying? We're not famous as they say. However, I know certain people look up to me or have throughout their life. So even in that aspect, if you don't want to be better for yourself, because sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, and Lord
Yeah.
knows why. But it's just like think about the younger generation and think about the little cousins you have or younger siblings. Like whatever you do, even if you don't think that they're looking or they're gonna follow you, I promise they are because you did the same thing when you had older people that you saw do something. So lead by example, even if you're not a mentor, just have that mindset of, hey, if I do this, somebody behind me who is younger is gonna do this. And it's like, do I want that cycle to continue or do I want to finally break the cycle? So keep that in mind.
I agree. I agree. And speaking of January, because you said, that's a January awareness. But in January, we also know it's cold. In the last podcast, or the one before that, I can't remember, but I was doing some winter
Feels like a lot of them.
topics.
Yeah.
I was doing some winter topics. So we're going to pick back up on that. Am I going to continue this after this? I don't know. But it's winter, so we need to talk about winter and the bad parts about winter. So what's worse? Shoveling snow or de-icing your car in the morning? What's worse?
Dang, that's a tough one. But I gotta say, de-icing your car. Why do I say that, ladies and gentlemen? Shoveling
Why?
snow, we could be talking about a half inch of snow, which for my driveway, I could run through pretty quick. Or we could be talking about a blizzard where it's a few inches and obviously it's a little heavier. But I'm going off my situation currently, and my driveway is not like it's pretty short. You see what I'm saying? Which is the best
Yeah.
one I think I've had since pretty much living. So it's not a lot to shovel at all. I'm thankful for it. It's pretty quick and easy. But defrosting is annoying because do you have to? The first question is, do I have to stay in my car the whole time because I live in an area
Man.
where I can't just shut it on and go back in the house, and I don't have a
Yeah.
spare key. So that's the first question. Above that, it's just like if I have to defrost it, that means I'm going out in the freezing cold. We all know when that cold hits you, we want to say words our mother wouldn't be proud of. You see what I'm saying? We wanna go back in the bed as Zach just did the Steph Curry celebration of night. We want to do everything but be in the city that we are in. You see what I'm saying? This is when winterarians start thinking about why we don't live in the South. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, defrosting your car is horrible. And then on top of that, you gotta hope that your heat's working. You gotta hope you have good heat on top of that. So it's just a
Man,
lot
oh
of
my
factors
God.
that could go wrong with de-icing a car. With snow, it's not much that could go wrong. You just shovel it. You might get a little tired or whatever, but it's not much that could go wrong. Maybe you fall, but 9 times out of 10 you're not gonna fall. That's kind of crazy if you
Yeah.
fall. So yeah,
Yeah.
de-icing your car is way, way above that.
I think the thing that makes the snow worse is that it's not just snow in your driveway. Like, there's gonna be snow on the street. So if you're shoveling the snow to get out the driveway and you
Yeah.
have to drive in the snow, that's what makes it bad. But yeah, de-icing is a pain, especially if you don't have to sit in the car, it's not as bad. Because you kind of walk out,
Right.
you start it, it warms up, you come back in 10, 15 minutes, you're good. But like, if you have to sit in the
Mhm.
car while it's de-thawing, that's brutal, bro.
And me and Z done
That-
had them days where we can't go nowhere but sit in the car, and you just
Yeah.
in there,
Ugh.
you in there moving like this, you hitting your steering wheel, you just looking like you want to scream, and then nothing's gonna come out though because you're just sitting with the fact of the matter that I live in a cold state. This same year, even though last year I said I wasn't gonna live here, and the year before that I said it, so I just put myself in a worse situation, and I have to accept it. That's literally what we go through.
Especially when you're sitting in the car, watching the windshield, just slowly doing it, and your like heat, like you said, isn't as good. Because my heat in my car, it's okay when it's like fully heated, but until then, it is trash. It is trash. And I don't know if it's because it's an older car. I've never
Yeah.
had like a brand new car or whatever, but it's just so bad. So yeah, hopefully this winter I don't think I have to, because I got a push, so I just do that, and then when I get out, I lock it with my key. Plus, obviously, I know my license plate,
Yeah.
so I guess if it gets stolen, the insurance will cover or whatever. But yeah, it's all bad. It's all bad. Anyway, what's worse?
It is.
Now this has to do with the inside of the house. Wet floors from snow or salty floors from snow? What's worse?
Well, salty floors can damage floors. If you don't clean it up right
Yes.
away, it can cause damage to whatever
Man.
floor you have. Wet floors, I mean, technically could do the same. The damage from the salt would be worse, and the water damage might be a little more unseen because you can get mold underneath your floor and not know.
Yep.
So it's kind of
Yep.
it's complicated. I don't like wet floors because I'll be mad if my side gets wet, and then I just want to like crash out. I just really want to crash out. But salty floors, they just are dirty and the salt's gonna track, so it's just annoying. I say salty floors. I say salty floors. That's
Yeah.
tough. I don't like either though.
I was on the fence as well, but I think the salt just it does that extra layer because like the salt is meant to break down the ice or whatever, and I just feel like, but I feel like it's meant to break down everything because it has a different effect, and your floor has like a
Hmm.
grittier feel to it. And if you don't clean it up right away,
Yeah.
you're gonna start tracking it from like the hardwood or the tile to like the carpet, which is even more annoying. So it's all bad.
Yeah.
I definitely salt. It's not for me. It's not for me. Especially, I didn't put it on here, but especially salt on your cars. If you don't know how bad that is for your car, but it's horrible, man. Salt is all bad.
Tragic.
Yep. Anyway, what's worse? The last one. Slipping on black ice or having to dig your car out the snow. So it's not just snowing, your car is literally snowed in.
Man, it just sucks that it has to be called black ice in the world that we live in, but it's just so true. And black ice is some of the worst ice, bro. Just like it just blend in, bro. I don't get it, dog. Like,
Black ice just
it's
steals
so
you of your
annoying.
humanity. It robs you of your joy. The black ice.
Whoa, that is crazy. Yeah,
Black ice is a
ice
thief
in
in the
general, I
night.
really feel like does that. I feel
Oh.
like
No,
I
not
feel
ice
like
in
ice
general.
in-
The white ice I see on the roof is like pretty. It's dangling down sharp. It could hurt you, but it doesn't. It's just nice. But the black ice, you don't see it coming, and by the time it's there,
But why do we?
everything is gone.
It's too late. But why do we call it white ice when it's really not even white? It's like a crystal almost. Can we fix this like right now on our podcast? It ain't white ice. We don't want to give too much credit to a certain color when it ain't needed. I think we should call it crystal ice. Or that dang near
Crystal
what
ice.
ice is. It's crystal. I think we should just call it ice. You know what I'm saying? It's just ice. It ain't white ice. I don't know if I've ever heard white ice. I think you might have just done this right now. I'm not gonna lie. Black ice will definitely surprise you. I don't even know what the other one is we're talking about. What are we talking about now?
The black ice, slipping on black ice versus digging your car out the snow.
Nah, bro. I gotta say, I can live with some black ice, but I can't live with digging my car out the snow every time, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Out the
If
white snow?
Just imagine yeah, the white snow. That's what really gets you because the white snow is gonna compact you into one freaking area that you've been in. They try to keep you stationary your whole life. You see what I'm saying? That's what the white snow does. They keep you stationed in one spot, and they're like, if you want to use your car that you pay for, you're gonna have to dig me out because I don't want you to leave. So then they make you work for what you already worked for, bro. It's sickening, bro. I hate when white snow compacts my car in, bro. No, bro. Absolutely
No.
worse than black ice.
No.
I don't even know
No.
why we compared the two, but yeah, white compacted snow is worse than black ice that surprises you. Whoa, whoop-de-doo. You know what I'm saying? Some people like
No.
surprises. You know what I'm saying? Nobody
No,
likes
black
being
ice-
trapped though. So
No, black ice hurts, man. You're walking on the soft white snow that out of nowhere the blackness just comes under your feet. You slip and you fall. You hurt your back. Your wallet all of a sudden is out of your pocket. The money falling out. The money's flying all around. You can't get it because it's a wind snowstorm going on. And as soon as you get in your car to
Yeah.
drive away, what happens? What takes your car away? Not the white snow, because the white snow keeps you planted. It's the black ice that has your car slipping off the road. All of a sudden, you ain't got a car no more because your car got stolen. So,
That actually, cars getting stolen, I feel like it happened more when I'm trying to dig out my car. I'm digging it out. Now I'm done and I'm tired. The thief over there been looking at me the whole hour I've been digging out. So now he sees my fatigue. He's like, this is the moment to go over there. And all he gotta do is come up and be like, give me your keys. That's how little energy I got. I just give him my keys, bro.
Mm.
It's already in the car though, because I was heating it up. So he don't even really say, give me your keys. That's just his sign to be like, get out the way. So no, bro. We sticking with the white snow being trapping us is way worse than a little surprise. So, because at the end of the day, if you're driving and you know the conditions of the road, you're already, black ice. You may not be able to see it, but you know it's still out there. So when you hit it, you should
Like a
be able
thief
to
in the
know how
night.
to, deal with it. Come on, bro. Like a thief in the night, he can still come, but I know a thief can come. So if he come in this house and I hear him come, then I know what I'm coming with. And
I'm ready
you
for
know
him to
what I'm saying?
come.
It's all about
Yeah.
preparation. It's a
Yep.
preparation and dedication. You gotta know when it's coming. That's all I'm saying.
I'm ready for the. Yep. I appreciate your input on that. I think you really brought us all insight to what's worse for the winter. Although we might not disagree because we know how dangerous black ice is, but we appreciate that.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you bringing up another winter. It's not even an activity. It's just winter things. Was that the whole list?
Yep, just three. I keep
Well,
mine to
that
three.
that's gonna segue me into my winter tips. Specifically, if you're dealing with depression. We know seasonal depression is real, and we know winter is the time when people get affected the most. So we're gonna talk about it, and we're just gonna talk about it. You see what I'm saying? But our winter tips for depression, I have 5 of them. As I go through them, I'll say a little bit on why I feel they're important, or I may just say it and kind of push it along. But you feel free to do the same thing. We want your input on this, Zachariah. The first tip, if you're dealing with winter or seasonal depression, we'll say, is the increase in light exposure. Obviously, in the winter, it's a lot more gloomy, but on the days that you could catch the sun, even if it's not early in the morning, if it's like sunset and all of a sudden the clouds move, catch some sunlight. That's the best light intake that we can have. It provides us with things that literally naturally help our body. It comes from the rays of sun. So the more light you can get, the better. If you can't expose yourself to sunlight, don't be in a dark house all day. You see what I'm saying? Get some light around you. Do you have any tip on light exposure?
Get outside, enjoy the weather.
That's it. Simply put, Z is a man of few words sometimes. The second tip we got after the increase in light exposure, we have consistent sleep. So many people be up and down with sleep schedules. One day or Monday through Friday they sleep a certain way because they got work, and then the weekend they mess their whole sleep schedule up because they want to kick it and party. Figure out a good sleep schedule. You know what I mean? Be as consistent as possible. And one of the big tips on here is to avoid screen time before bed. How many of you out there sleep with your phone in your hand? How many of you sleep and right before you go to bed, you just gotta be on that phone? You don't fall asleep with it in your phone, I mean, in your hand, but right before you close your eyes, you put it down. Like, get off the screen. You've been on it probably most of the day anyway. Like, take time after work to be on your screen. You know what I'm saying? And then take time before you actually go to sleep. If you go to sleep at 10 o'clock, don't be on your phone like that at 9 o'clock, bro. Like, just cut it out. Avoid screen time. It's not good for you.
Definitely put down the phone. Set yourself a little bedtime timer or a reminder in your head where it's like, I don't care what's going on. I need to be doing this at this time.
Stick to a little schedule, as he was saying. The third one we got after consistent sleep is Zach's favorite, is staying physically active. It brings out how a 20 or 30-minute walk in or outside a day is something in itself that can change your mood. Z, add a little more into physical activity because this is your category in life. Please talk about some tips maybe that have helped you to stay physically active.
I feel like me being physically active has honestly helped me avoid a lot of the mental issues people have nowadays. People will feel very sad and into themselves, and I think it's a natural emotion to feel sadness, but when you're doing so much to where you can't even really think about it, you're constantly improving yourself. you're in the gym, you're getting better constantly. So I think that hits different, and our bodies are meant to work. A lot of people are trying to avoid the work because they think it'll hurt them, or maybe they don't feel like it. But when you work, it just naturally feels good for your body. It's like eating out versus eating healthy. If you're eating out, you're gonna feel like garbage because they're feeding you trash. But if you're eating your fruits, vegetables, things that were made specifically to help you survive as a human, to help you thrive and grow, your body's gonna feel different. It's gonna react different. So when you're sitting around all day, you're not gonna feel as good as you putting in that 30 minutes to an hour worth of exercise, because your body is meant to work. And when you work, it's like a reward, man. It rewards you, and it gets you that extra step. It takes you the distance. There's even videos I've seen of older people, and they'll say, this is what this person looks like at this age when they haven't exercised and they need like help, assistance, they're on a home, wheelchair bound. And then you see somebody who has consistently exercised their whole life, and they're still able to have their freedom. They're still able to go out and walk, play with their grandchildren, things like that. So when you do these things, when you really take care of yourselves, it helps you forever. Not just now, but in the long run, about things you don't even really think about. Like, you're not thinking about when you're older, needing help or not needing help. It's not stuff we think about. You think you'll be young forever, but eventually it'll get to that point. So you want to be ready right now and start taking care of yourself now. So later in life, it's so much easier. It just makes everything better. So exercise is 100 out of 10 recommendation.
Like Z said, he said later in life, it'll make it easier. At the end of the day, it's super easy to be sad all the time, to do nothing, to sit in bed, to sit in front of the TV, to eat unhealthy. It's super easy because everything around us makes that convenient. It is a little more difficult to be the opposite, to be a little bit more healthy, to be more active. This is going to be my one tip for anybody out there, especially with this part. If you're not currently active and you want to get active, maybe you want to lose weight, maybe you want to stay the same weight, and maybe you want to gain muscle. Whatever category you're in, my first tip is do not compare yourself to anybody on social media. That's my first tip. Don't compare yourself to anyone on social media or really around you, but specifically the social media, because that's where a lot of influence comes from. And then secondly, make your own program. A lot of times we see people in the gym or, once again, social media, working out all day, working out for hours at a time, working out because it's really their job. We have to understand some people on social media do not have a regular job like you and I do. You see what I'm saying? So, well, like you and I do. So you gotta bring that into account. So just do, once again, as the tip said, if you can only do 20 to 30 minutes a day of some physical activity, do it. Do it and watch how you grow over time. As long as you are consistent with the activity, 1, you'll end up liking it more. 2, you'll see progress over time. And 3, you literally want to do it more. It's just that simple. So do a little physical activity, whatever you can do. Do not overdo it at first, but work up so you can build at your pace and you can complete your goals. That's my tip here. So that's the physical activity. That was the third point. The fourth one we have is prioritize social contact. And this can be a hard one when you're going through that depression. I've been depressed myself, and one of the last things you want to do is be in the room with people. Even if you love these individuals, it could be your closest friends, it could be your sibling, but it's just like, man, Monday you might feel up to it. Wednesday come, by Friday you're not gonna want to do it just because how your mind is. So then you already like, man, how can I cancel? How can I get out of this? But look, prioritizing contact at least weekly is good, because how many of us have been down and then we hang out with our people and we actually end up having a good time? It's not that we don't necessarily want to hang out and have a good time. It's just that for some reason, our body's telling us don't be around people. Fight that urge is what I'm telling you this year. This winter, this seasonal depression for you, fight the urge to be alone. Alone time is good, but not all the time. Get out, see your people, even if you just invite them over for a movie night, something simple. You don't got to talk much, have some snacks and watch a movie. But make sure you're hanging out and being in contact with people. Did you have a tip on that?
Yeah, I think that's something that I personally don't enjoy doing like that. But when you do that, especially with the right people, it does feel so much better afterwards. Even we had dinner with this older couple I shouldn't say the other day, it was probably like a month or two ago now. But it's something I really didn't feel like doing at the time. I didn't feel like doing, but I committed, I did it, and we ended up having like a really, really good time. And it was a really wholesome time. We had fun, and we look forward to doing it again. So it may not be something you want to do, especially I know people have low social batteries, especially when you're going through that seasonal depression.
Mm-hmm.
But it does help a lot. It does help a lot, and people are there for you, whether you believe it or not. Somebody out there cares. Somebody out there wants to help and be a listening ear, or maybe just be around you. And you just got to give people the chance. But if you shut people out, then nobody can help you. Nobody can save you. But if you just put yourself out there to give someone an opportunity, more times than not, I think it'll work out, especially with the right people.
Literally, people don't know you're depressed when they don't know. Like, you can't expect people just to know your problems if they don't know them. If you never told somebody it, we can't just assume. How many times do people assume stuff about us in life and we get irritated? So if you're going through something, say something. It's just that simple. And then the last tip, which Zach actually mentioned along with physical activities, is literally nutrition intake. If you always eating like trash, if you're not getting your fruits and veggies in there, if you're not drinking water, your body's gonna feel bad. I mean, on top of that, you may end up looking bad. And that's no shade to anyone out there. It's just what you eat is what you become, pretty much. And it's that simple. So if you like fast food, I'm not gonna be the one to be like, hey, cut it out completely, but just backtrack on it. Don't eat it as much. If you don't like fruits or vegetables, go on Google, or nowadays it ain't really Google, it's Chat GPT and stuff like that. Do whatever you gotta do and search up different fruits and vegetables. You would not believe how many different veggies and fruits are out there that you probably never even heard of. So do some research, make eating fun. Like, don't be boring about it. Like, eating healthy don't gotta be boring or too hard. We make it as hard as we want. So pause. So go out there, eat healthier, slow down with the fast food restaurants, and that'll help you as well with the seasonal winter depressions.
And eating healthy hasn't always been for me, but when you set little goals and try to make it delicious, I think that's what will help you the most. And I think that's the important thing as well. Kendi mentioned earlier, comparison being the thief of joy. You look at others and you're like, why can't I be that? You can't be that because you are you. So I think the best thing to do is to look at yourself, see where you're at in everything, right? You can say physical, how you eat, mental, and just take the next step. So if you eat unhealthy all the time, how about eat unhealthy? Let's say you eat unhealthy 5 days a week. Go for 3 days a week, right? And then for the 2 days you don't go, try to eat something a little healthier. Take in a berry or a fruit, right? Something I trick myself into doing is I'll make myself a berry like smoothie. It has like strawberry, pineapple, blueberry, and that's delicious for me. Now, could I just eat a strawberry just raw? That's not what I prefer at all. Like, that turns me off. I don't like that idea. But making a drink is easier for me. So it's like I consume about 12 strawberries compared to before. I wouldn't eat any. So find little ways to almost trick yourself into doing the right thing. Same with the gym. You don't have to go from no gym to 7 days a week in a row. Just try going 1 day or 2 days, right? Hit up somebody that wants to do that as well, where they can encourage you, because not everybody can do things on their own. Sometimes you need somebody to give you that boost. So do that as well. And that's a good way to kind of trick yourself into doing the right thing and taking those steps to be a better version of yourself, not somebody else.
We appreciate those real life tips. They can really help and impact our lives, so we appreciate that.
Sure do appreciate that. And things that people do affect how they become and how great they become. And some people do some of the things we mentioned so well that they become professionals. And professionals entertain us, bro, especially professionals in sports. So what's more entertaining? A dynasty winning again, or an underdog winning for the first time?
To be a dynasty, you already got to be established, and you already would have had to won multiple. So in this category, I'm gonna go with the underdog. It's definitely more entertaining. You like, whoa,
Oh,
because the
okay.
dynasty, you almost expect it. You know, you expect the dynasty to do what it does, win. But when the underdog come and win, everybody's shocked, except the underdog. The underdog knew that they was gonna
Right.
win.
We've been calling it from the jump, man. When I first stepped foot in this locker room, I said, we winning it all or we dying. What's more entertaining? A game-winning block in basketball or a game-winning field goal block in football?
Man, I'm gonna have to say field goal because blocks in the NBA happen. They happen often. It's not like absurd that somebody got blocked. Like, oh my gosh, they blocked somebody in this game. This is insane. No, you could go a lot of games without having a field goal block, and then at this one game where you could have won, and it don't matter. It could be the game that put you in the playoffs, the game that wins you a playoff game. It could be anything. So now that kick got blocked. Like, no, that's insane, bro. That's crazy.
I think I agree with that one. And just to clarify, the LeBron James block on Iguodala does not count in that because there were still games to be played after that. It was a great block, and it probably did save the game. I'm not denying that by any means. But I mean, like, literally, they're shooting the shot for the buzzer beater, and they get blocked. And when I think about it, I think that happened when Manu blocked James Harden. I think it happened then. I think that was in the playoffs. I could be wrong. I'm gonna have to fact check myself. But yeah, that was a pretty crazy block. But yeah, I think I agree. When you see a field goal get blocked, that happens so rarely, let alone a field goal to win the game. It's like, oh my goodness, like that was clutch. Because the whole wall is built to where you can't get in.
Yeah.
And the fact that you got in and blocked it, oh man. Yeah, I don't even like football, but I go crazy over that, man. What's more entertaining? A team making a massive comeback or a player returning from injury and playing great? What's more entertaining?
Team coming back. I mean, if a player come back from injury and play good, this is no disrespect, but it's just like good. Like, I'm happy you playing good. Like, you've been doing this your whole life. You got hurt, which I get can definitely impact how you play. You might not play the same, Klay Thompson, but it's just like, I don't know. I feel like a comeback is better than me. And speaking of Klay Thompson, just on a brief note, I was going through Instagram feeds the other day, and I keep seeing comments about people saying, "Oh my gosh, like Klay ain't been the same since he been with Meg." And I'm like, I don't know if y'all haven't been watching Klay for the last 5 years, but he been like this like since he got injured. So I don't know why we trying to put this on Meg, but I'll put other things in life on Meg Thee Stallion, but career endings like for Klay is insane, bro. That boy ain't been right. Why you think he ain't on the Warriors? That's what you gotta ask yourself. That's all I had to say, though. I just had to get that out real quick. I couldn't believe it when I saw that.
Yeah, the main reason I put the injury on there is because I thought of Derrick Rose, and Derrick Rose had, I think, a 50-point game with the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
So it was like post-injury. It was very emotional. I think that was it. That was probably his career high. I'm not sure. So it was like, dang, bro. It was like such a beautiful moment. That's what I thought of. But comebacks are pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. It can go either way for me. Comebacks are crazy. And yeah, Clay's been playing horrible. I think I saw something saying he was shooting 22%. Horrible. That's absolutely horrible. I didn't know.
They benched him.
Yeah, I didn't know he was shooting that bad before he left the Warriors. And to be fair, in Clay's defense, he left. Okay, it's not like the Warriors traded him. Okay, Klay Thompson left the Warriors. In my heart, I do believe he was still be a Warrior right now. Like,
he didn't like how the people was treating him though. Like, we wasn't trying to pay that man like that. So yeah, he left, but it's because we wasn't trying to give him nothing. And just to be more clear, he wasn't shooting this bad on the Warriors, but to act like he just had a crazy decline from like a peak of his career is insane. Like, he ain't been in his peak since he got hurt, like 2019. So we talking about 6 years of Klay. No offense, I like Klay as a person. I don't know him, so I like from what I see of the media and stuff. I have nothing against him personally. But as far as basketball, it's just like, unfortunately, he could still out-hoop me and a lot of people on the street, but he's not in the league of the NBA no more. It's just that simple. And it's sad, but it's just that simple.
How do you feel about Westbrook beating the Warriors the other day?
I'm okay with Russell Westbrook beating the Golden State Warriors because Steph Curry was actually not playing. He was a little ill. So we just got to remember contributing factors. You know what I mean? It's not like the Warriors were at the peak, or not even the peak. It's not like they had their best player. If they had their best player and anybody else on the roster was hurt, we would have won. But without Steph Curry, we almost won. You know, so shout out Will though. That's our rookie. He be going crazy. I think he put a 30 ball up that game, and they asked him about it. They like, how you feel? Like blah blah. He was like. He's like, we still lost. Like, what we talk about? So I like his Kobe mentality. Shout out Will, man. He gonna be good for us. I have a new segment, and it's so
Hmm.
simple. It's just called. It's so simple. I had to look again. That's how simple it is. It's called it's called Remember Them. That's all it's called. Remember Them. What this
Okay.
category is each time I'm gonna just bring up 2 to 5 people who have passed away on a
Oh,
famous level.
oh.
On a famous level though, not on a personal. And we were just gonna talk about the impact and how random it was. Whatever feelings come up, that's what I want to do.
Okay,
So
bet. I'm
the
predicting
first one
two
I
people in my
got,
mind.
you're not gonna predict anybody on this list. The
Oh,
first one I got is actually a legend, and you're gonna love this. Is Stuart Scott, man. I know you remember him. Talk about him.
oh, I feel like Stuart Scott. Nah, I was gonna say he was like the original Stephen A. Smith. I mean, kind of was.
Hot
He had,
take.
yeah, kind of
Yeah,
was. He had his own
yeah,
flavor. He was real cool. Had the his iconic glasses, fun. When I think
man.
of him, I think of like there's these commercials where it'll be like this is Sports Center or this is ESPN, something like that, and they'll have like some funny skit. You know
Gosh,
what I'm talking about?
yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And
Oh,
I imagine
oh.
him in those. But yeah, it was
Yeah,
tragic.
for
He
real.
he had some kind of like cancer, right, where he passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was horrible. And then not long after that, it was another individual. I don't know if you're gonna bring him up too, but yeah, Stuart Scott, man, he
I'm
was
not gonna
he
bring
was
him up today, so you could bring him up if you want. We could talk about them both.
okay. Craig Sager, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, him and Craig, yeah, they were very original reporters, and I could be biased, but I feel like there's
hmm
not original reporting like that today. I don't
Hundred
know. There's
percent.
yeah,
Hundred
like,
percent.
do we really have another Craig Sager or Stuart Scott? Like I said, Stuart Scott's
No.
kind of like a Stephen A. ish. You can say something like that, but it's like Craig
I like Stewart
Sager.
way
I
better
don't.
though. I like Stewart way better. Craig, nobody's like Craig because Craig would come with a
Yeah,
different fit. You know what I'm saying? Craig, no. I
yeah,
still remember when Kevin Garnett got on his neck one time about something he wore. A lot of people got
yeah,
on him sometime, but look, if you
yeah.
never heard of Craig Sager, look him up in the outfits. He was a legend. But back to Stewart though.
Stewart.
Dang, what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? I forgot now.
Is anyone
Stewart.
like him? You're gonna say Stephen A. You're saying Stephen A. is not like
Yeah,
him.
so no, I mean, we could say maybe similar, but the reason I personally like Stuart more is I'm a laid back guy, so I don't need somebody
Yeah,
constantly yelling at me and berating me with
yeah,
stuff. And that's
yeah.
why I like Stuart because he'll still keep you entertained, he'll bring you in, but he don't got to do all that yelling extraness. And I'm not coming at
Yes,
nobody else's style. It's just not my preferred style. So that's why I really
yes.
liked him. And I meant to say this before we started. He passed away at 49 years old. That's how young he was. He passed away right before 50. So
It's so weird hearing stuff like that, but yeah.
we got the so yeah, I want to bring him up like you said. He's a legend. And then we threw Craig in there too. I was gonna add them both on the list, but I'm like they similar, so I'm glad you mentioned him. Shout out Craig. Um we got Chadwick, you know what I'm saying? The Black Panther.
I there's a few deaths where you know where you are. I don't remember where I was. I don't know. I don't know if you were with me though. But we were at Applebee's, and I want to say we just finished a hoop session or something like that. But it was a whole bunch of the kids there, and it popped up on like Instagram. We were like, what? It was just so random because it's like all these,
Yeah.
Avengers was going crazy. I mean, Avengers still is kind of going crazy. Avengers is $1 billion company, so. But
All right.
the Black Panther happened years before that. I think we just got what is it called? Endgame. But Endgame was I think had a couple years as well on it. But we in our mind that was Black Panther. Like we got the Captain
Yeah.
America, we got the Spider Man. These are who they are. So seeing him pass is weird. It's like dang, like who's Black Panther now? Like how did he pass away? Because I feel like we were just seeing dude. And they kind of find out there was reports, where he went on like some live and people were making fun of him, saying, what's wrong with him? Why is he skinny? Yada yada yada. And hindsight's 2020. It made sense why he appear differently. I believe it was Instagram Live. I could be wrong, but I didn't know nothing about the Instagram Live. If I'm being honest, until he passed away. Then everything kind of came to light. But that was a very weird situation, and he played a lot of great roles. I think another one they mentioned he played was like Jackie Robinson, which is like a whole.
That was a good movie. I like that movie. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation in itself. But yeah, it was very shocking and weird almost. Because at least with Stewart, we knew he was going through something. He talked about it. But with Chad, he kept it very private.
He didn't tell nobody. Yeah, he kept it private. Now
nobody.
It was I forget her name, Jess something. She a comedian. I think it was Jess or B Simone. Some comedian, one of those two, I believe. I don't want to say yeah, but that sounds correct. One of those. But anywho, they made jokes at him, and they didn't know he was sick, and then they died, and they were like, "That's the only joke I ever felt bad at," because like she thought like maybe he was getting ready for a role or something. And I believe I saw him a little before he passed away online, and I saw how skinny he was, and like people was like haggling him a little bit. I didn't really pay attention to it because like you just don't. But I just looked at him and I thought the same thing. I thought he was preparing for a role. I didn't overanalyze his skinniness or his body. But that just show you, ladies and gentlemen, famous or not, rich or not, bro, just stop. You know what I mean? Just stop. You ain't always gotta crack a joke one. And you never have to talk about anybody's appearance. You know what I mean? It ain't your appearance. So you don't gotta talk about it. Because people really going through real life behind the scenes. Just like your family is, somebody else is. So shout out the Black Panther though. Yeah, that was weird when he passed away. It was just out of nowhere, like you said. The last one it was out of nowhere pretty much as well. I got Heath Ledger on here. I had to add one of your favorite roles as a character, so put him on here for the last one.
He overdosed, right?
Yeah,
I don't even think I really understood, because that movie's old. What was that, like 2000?
Yeah,
that movie's really old, so I don't even know if I was really keeping track of like deaths like that in my head. The older you get, the more it like hits you. But then I don't know. But that was very sad because he played such a good role, and people loved it, obviously. And when you love something, you want more of it, and it's like you couldn't get more of it. Couldn't even get more of it. And I don't know what other movies he did, if I'm being honest. I'm not a movie fanatic guy. I just know that was the one movie he did, and he did like amazing. Like people are still like, there's no person for that role like him. He did it like perfectly. Like we've never seen nothing like it. So it's a tragedy, man. It's a tragedy seeing people go, especially at their peaks. Like, or we don't even know if this is peak.
What year do you think the Dark Knight came out? If you had to guess.
05.
One more guess. A little higher. Oh, 08. It came out in 2008. So almost 20 years. I mean, we about to be in we're in 2026. So in 2 years, The Dark Knight came out 10 years ago. But yeah, it's just sad. He was literally.
You mean 20 years ago?
I'm gonna say. Yeah, what did I say?
10.
Oh yeah, no, 20 years ago. In 2 years, it'll be 20 years since it came out, which is crazy because that.
So I would have
really
been 10.
Ages a lot of us. Yeah, and I was when it came out. Well, yeah, because I was 8. So you was 10 or 11, just depending on the month. That's the best thing about being born in '99, bro. Is whatever year it is, that's how old I am. I love it. It's the best thing. This is who I consider the GOAT of the Jokers. And it just shows you it doesn't matter at what level of life you're at. If you're at the literally way bottom or if you're at the way top, drug addiction and drug struggle, it don't have a name and it don't have a face. So that's just a reminder to all of us out there. If you're struggling with drug addictions or drug just habits that you want to break, just seek help. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to find their family member overdose. It's literally not. It's not a good time. Nobody wants to find or hear that their friend overdosed. It's not a good time. I've had people overdose, and it's one of the worst phone calls because just imagine this: if you were able to call that person, this is a hypothetical, but if Z was struggling with drugs and I called him and I'm like, yo, the next time you use drugs, you're guaranteed to die. Do you think that he would take the drugs? More than likely not. So just going with that mindset, like if you're really struggling with drugs, just really understand like your next time could be your last time. It's just that simple. So please Get help out there. I've needed help with certain things, so you're not alone. You see what I'm saying? All of us need help. So seek the help you need. RIP some of the legends: Stuart Scott, Chadwick Boseman, I believe is how you say his last name, and then Heath Ledger. So shout out those three. I think that they impacted my life a little bit. I liked watching them all, so I wanted to bring them up, and I know you liked them as well. So that's what I got. Obviously, we had those winter tips earlier. It was really encouraging, and this quote is gonna tie everything in to just kind of taking care of yourself. The quote is: discipline is nothing but self-respect at the highest level.
Make sure to like, comment, share with everybody you know, and subscribe.